Hey, what's up guys and gals, my name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to be talking about Gilligan's Island. More specifically about what if. What if Gilligan himself would have gotten married on the show throughout the course of the series, and maybe a couple others. How about Marianne? How about Ginger? How about the professor? And who would marry who? Well, of course, the Howells are already married on the show, and the Skipper is another eligible bachelor on the show. Who would marry who? Well, it is something that we can wonder and speculate about. But yes, Sherwood Schwartz, the creator of Gilligan's Island, did have an answer, and even a prospective show movie where it would leap into this supposed future that I think it's absolutely amazing. Make your guesses, place your bets. I'm going to reveal to you who's with who. And not only that, but would any of them have kids? Think about that. The castaways with kids on the island, and how would that work out? How would that dynamic be? Well, first we have to look at the show itself. Gilligan's Island lasted only 3 seasons. I say only because it was canceled, it was short-lived, and not because of any fault of its own. There were some big head honchos who made their decisions, and it wasn't really based on ratings or anything like that. It was more of a personal choice, quote unquote. There were already scripts written for season 4, which to me is an absolute shame. I mean, think about how some of those scripts would be so amazing. The cast was already signed and everything, and the show unfortunately was canceled to the disappointment of everyone, including the creator as well. But it leaves us to speculate. People ask, why didn't they ever get together on the show? These characters, these beloved characters that many of us absolutely love. Now we have the men on one side, we have Gilligan, the Skipper, and the Professor. Those are the only 3 available men. And now on the other side we have Marianne as well as Ginger. We have 3-2, so someone will be left out in regards to the men. Now if you think about it, if we start off with Gilligan, Gilligan could either be matched with, of course, Marianne or Ginger. Now that's an interesting pair-up because they're very different from each other, and many people kind of gravitate over the years I've seen to putting Gilligan with Marianne. Now if we just leave that for a little bit, Gilligan with Ginger would be a very interesting mix. I don't know, it would be a little overwhelming in regards to Gilligan, I think, because every time Ginger gets a little bit close, he always faints. Now moving on to the Skipper, that's an interesting one, because if we pair him up with Marianne, it would seem that maybe she's a little too young for him, and that Ginger, even though she is of course a movie star and everything, the Skipper is just an ordinary man, that would be a bit of a mismatch as well. But I don't know, I would love to know what you think as well. But moving on to the Professor now, him with Marianne would seem a little bit odd in terms of age. Now there isn't a drastic change or a drastic difference in them, but it would be a little bit difficult to think about in any way. Now the Professor with Ginger seems like more of a match. It seems like the strong mental type of the Professor can probably handle a Ginger type, but I don't know. That's something for you guys and gals to decide. But yes, Sherwood Schwartz actually had a solution to this with a plot, a story, and everything, in which Gilligan was actually paired up with Marianne. Yes, you heard that right. That is pretty much confirmed. Even Bob Denver, who played Gilligan on Gilligan's Island, said that there was only really one attempt where this happened. That's in the season 1 episode, The Matchmaker, which I show here. It is one where the Howells try to pair up Gilligan and Marianne. It's kind of cute. It kind of works for the episode, and that's pretty good. However, there was a bit of a dilemma because Sherwood Schwartz thought that it would upset the balance that they had established between the castaways to pair up individuals. But he did have this movie in the 80s that he tried to sell where Gilligan marries Marianne and they actually have children. They have 1 boy and 1 girl. And the Professor who marries Ginger. That is interesting because that is similar to how people would pair them up, and they also would have a boy and a girl. Now he even went farther, and this is what surprised me the most. He even decided to make the Howells, since they were a bit older in age, adopt 3 children. And the kids themselves would later sail off and find the island in a new series that would be called, well, they didn't really come up with a name, but it's like Gilligan's Kids Island, who knows? Come up with a good name in the comments. I love to see them. But what do you think about this? Do you think this show would have worked, or do you think that we should have kept Gilligan's Island as it was? Remember, it was a movie, and it was something that would be a one-off, like Gilligan's Island and the Harlem Globetrotters, which actually did happen. Love to see your thoughts down below as always, guys and gals. We'll see you next time, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And most importantly, be hopeful. Thank you so much to my Diamond tier patrons: Citizen Kane 359, Paul T, Ricky, Gary N, David D, Sally N, Yasmin G, and Lori K. If you want to be part of the Patreon family, don't forget to take a look at the description with many exclusives that you can enjoy.